to recover. You know, the state's atmosphere is a little bit different. You know,
Yeah,
we've been all around the state just covering basketball in general, but now here at Weber State, it's a little bit different for us. It's a little different for them. Let's see what happens.
And the opening tip-off, last touch by Ben Lomond as it goes out off the hands of Jake East, a sophomore, just in his second season with the Scots. I say second season as if it's, you know, like
so he's in year
sophomore.
2 of a 3-year contract. Wonder if he'll pick up the fourth-year option.
That's right.
Okay.
And an early three from far. It's off the mark. Rebound comes down to the Scots, and Caleb Alexander, a senior.
Far one of the longest, tallest guys here at the tournament, but you'll see him pull up from 3 every so often.
Speaking of pulling up from 3, Kakoa Beard, 14 points a game for the senior. 3-0 in favor of Ben Lomond.
Ooh, good screen set by his own teammate.
I was going to say Russ Gibson just ran right in, and they go early again to far. Misses there, gets his own rebound, sticks it back up, and the ball rolls off the rim. Comes down to Kakoa Beard.
That's a little miscommunication from the 2 underclassmen that get the start for ALA, freshman and a sophomore.
3-point shot good.
Oh.
Preston Williams, that's a pretty stroke from Preston. And just like that, 6-0 in favor of Ben Lomond.
This is a nightmare start for ALA. Because when you are the underdog in situations like this, you need to start hot. And then just hope some mistakes happen, hope you can stay in it through the entire thing.
And that's what they've done the first 3 games. They actually led in the third quarter against Manti as Beard misses in and out on the jump shot. Rebound to far, and Russ Gibson now gets it across the timeline. They led early against North Sanpete and Richfield, led in the third quarter against Manti. And then the Templars just opened up after a turnover there. It's Chauncey Whitty out ahead. The layup in transition is good. That's Caleb Alexander. Quick timeout called by ALA. 6:30 to go here in the opening quarter. Cole, as you mentioned, not good for the Eagles to get off to a slow start like this.
Right, and so Ben Lomond, this is a completely different Ben Lomond team. Yeah, they carried the lead throughout, but let's see if they have the endurance this time. It was the morning game of yesterday. This is more an afternoon. They probably have a lunch in them this time. The high school kids, you forget they're high school kids sometimes, and they're not used to, like, playing competitive basketball at 9:30 in the morning on a Thursday. You know, that's when you're supposed to be in the middle of second period. That's when, you know, the history teacher's getting on you for taking a nap in class, not when you're playing in the state's tournament. So, yeah, a little bit of a disappointing end against Grantsville, but now they're playing their basketball hot to start.
Yeah, playing really fast-paced. Coach Tanaka Beard likes to usually slow it down. That's what they did against Grantsville, but today the fact that ALA has had some early turnovers, it's led them out to get out and run, and you got to take advantage of the turnovers. I really like Ben Lomond's uniforms. The white with the red and sky blue trim.
Nice baby blue.
A little baby blue in there, yeah. Some baby blue shoes being rocked out front by Chauncey Whitty.
Going up
the whole team is rocking the baby blue shoes for the most part.
Oh, yeah, they do.
Oh, my goodness. That is a deep launch in 3 by Zach Webster. Not afraid to shoot from deep. Rebound comes down to Kakoa Beard.
We talked about the first time we watched an ALA game. They've got the Team USA font and style jerseys.
That's right.
That they're going up against.
And they have been in road jerseys the entire tournament. They have not played as they've been the lower seed in all 4 of their matchups here, winning 2 of 3. First foul of the game. See how many fouls are called in this consolation matchup. Winner advances on tomorrow. They'll get Morgan. A Ben Lomond-Morgan matchup could be a phenomenal 5th, 6th place game.
Yeah, we just finished watching that Morgan team go on a hot shooting streak.
Yeah.
They can play all kinds of different styles of basketball.
Beard with the basketball up high, picks up his dribble, goes in the corner. It's caught by Preston Williams. Williams guarded by Webster.
They were in a real grinder against Juan Diego yesterday. They come out and just score all over the place against.
Kakoa Beard knocks down the shot. 11-0. Again, the nightmare scenario continues for ALA as Gibson gives it over on the left side to Isaac House. Now Casperson to Gibson, trying to go into Mason Farr. It's deflected, taken away. Caleb Alexander in transition. Has it stripped. Good hands from Webster. Knocked it off his knee. Boy, what a play from Zach Webster to get the deflection, and possession goes back to ALA. You like the fight from the Eagles here early despite trailing 11-0?
Yeah, and it's coming from places you don't expect, right? We see, House triggering there, getting it to Gibson, and Oh, my gosh, that's another long three from Zach Webster.
Zach's not afraid of those threes. There's no question about that there.
If you haven't seen much, that just felt like it was going to go in because they haven't been for Ben Lomond. But if you haven't seen much ALA basketball, it normally goes the way that Gibson goes. And yet,
you're 100% right.
It's been a more balanced approach. More people are taking shots so far. But still, the result, unfortunately, the same. 0 points on the scoreboard.
And one thing with Russ, he's averages 4 assists per game. Great at setting up his teammates. The offense really flows through him, as we're going to see Zane Thornton check in, replacing Isaac Farr. 4:55 to go here in the opening quarter. It's 11-0 in favor of Ben Lomond. Gibson pounds the rock. Ball deflected. Good hands from Kakoa Beard.
Yeah, turnovers continuing to be a problem.
Big problem. Big problem. Over on the right side now, it's Alexander. Resetting up high will be Preston Williams. The bounces to Alexander, now back to Williams.
Little two-man game, and now it'll be a two-man with a different guy.
They're kind of setting up in a 1-2-2 type zone. Kakoa Beard, another three. 3 threes for Kakoa Beard, and it's 14-0 in favor of Ben Lomond. Another timeout being charged to ALA. And Russ Gibson, you can almost read his lips. We got to communicate. It's not happening on the defensive end for American leadership right now.
And honestly, not in the offensive end either.
Same.
Way too many turnovers that seem like they could be avoidable. Like maybe they get into their offense and it's too locked in. They don't open their eyes and see who's actually open. But, yeah, not a lot of communication right now for ALA. And the first game we saw when they upset North Sanpete, right, big ups, 18 versus 2 matchup. Something crazy has to happen for that game to go that way. And it's because their offense seemed like it couldn't miss. It wasn't a lot of motion. It wasn't a lot of specific offensive sets, but their shooters got it.
Yeah.
And they crushed every shot. And so far, if that magic's going to continue, that's what you need. And yesterday, very low scoring against Manti. Today already 0 points, almost halfway into the first quarter, while you watch Ben Lomond just run away.
Well, Kakoa Beard's on a mission. I think he probably took it's always tough to lose when you know you don't have a shot at a state title anymore, and Kakoa come to play, knocking down 3 threes here in the opening quarter for the Scots. They're not the Scots Tots, I will say that, for Ben Lomond.
The first time I saw one of their students walk up with a shirt that said Scots in that baby blue, I thought it was.
It is the baby.
I thought it was an office reference.
Oh, I've taken this too far. Oh no. Casperson, good ball movement. House puts it on the floor. Now back out to Webster. Webster with a good pass to Riker Mason, who can't hit the three. A good three-point shooter. Rebound comes down to Kakoa Beard. Preston Williams crosses over. Great move, Williams, and no one picked him up after the crossover. He misses it, though. Rebound Casperson. Thornton has it deflected. And Webster, oh, my goodness, what a save by Beard. Are you kidding me?
Who else would it be? Beard has made this game his own.
Pick in the pocket. Riker Mason, coast to coast like butter on toast, lays it up and in. And on the board is ALA. It's 14-2 still in favor of Ben Lomond.
Yeah, Beard will slow it down this time.
ALA with a little bit of pressure, and they get a turnover. Turnovers were a big part of their first 2 wins as well. Webster toes the line, swings it back to House. Now over to Riker Mason. He thought about the three. Now House with it.
From only Damian Lillard range.
Yeah. Casperson drives, has it stripped. It'll stay with the Eagles. Checking into the game for ALA, we're going to get number 13, Alonzo Chacon, who is a senior. And we do want to give a shout to number 23, Grant Jackson, who got in the game yesterday. We did not have that number. Graciously enough, an ALA fan able to get that one to us. Casperson puts it on the floor. Now kicks it back out deep. 3 for Chacon. NBA range 3. It's no good. Rebound comes down to Kakoa Beard.
Beard is still driving this Ben Lomond team. Hollywooden for a foul there, but it was a pretty solid hit.
Ball deflected out of bounds, and it goes back to ALA. Eagles defense, Cole, really picked up the last 2 or 3 possessions, getting deflections, getting stops, making plays.
Good coaching. I mean, you have to call those timeouts because they're running away, but it's one thing to say, oh, you need to call a timeout. It's another thing to actually have something to say during those timeouts that'll turn it around.
ALA basketball. Chacon's got it. Gives it over on the side to Riker Mason. Mason, another senior. House, also a senior. Isaac House. But they bring a big part of this core back next year, does ALA. Catch by Casperson. Chacon thought about the 3. Takes a long 2 instead. It's off the rim and good. Alonzo Chacon, makes it 14-4. Good look for ALA. Starting to settle in a little bit more. Still a 10-point lead for Ben Lomond, looking to get it across and bumped, and they call the foul very late. It definitely was a foul.
Defensive pass interference is what that was.
There you go.
Knocks the guy down before the pass gets to him.
And that's going to be on Marcus Royster, the senior. Tyrell Robertson going to come on for ALA. Triggering on the baseline, it's Preston Williams, sends it back in. Now Williams thought about the 3 in the corner, goes low. Losing control of the basketball inside Royster. Picked back up in the corner by number 34, Miguel Santos, but a foul called on ALA.
And it is Robertson. He came in to maybe give them just some foul breathing room, like someone that's willing to just be frantic around the basketball. But also, you don't see Gibson take a lot of breaks for this ALA team, and he's already on the bench early.
Triggering in the corners, Williams going to send it out to number 12, Trenton Harris, who's checked on. Williams with the basketball, picks up his dribble, now gets it out high to Beard. Kakoa Beard, Euro step, floats up a toughest shot of the night for him. Robertson had it, and they're going to call the foul inside on the sophomore Santos. Possession to ALA, first team foul for the Scots.
I mean, first quarter, 3 fouls to 1 foul. Pretty well officiated game so far.
I agree. That last game I did, man, that moved. Man, I tell you what, that moved unbelievably quick. Not a lot of fouls called the entirety of the game. Robertson had it poked away, ends up in the hands of Riker Mason. Robertson will ball fake with it.
Sure hands this time.
Mason skips over on the side to House. House drives baseline, picks up his dribble, bounces inside. And a tough shot inside for 2, up and in. The deuce from Tad Swarns, just a freshman who is not going to score a lot of points yet in his ALA career, but very good defender, kind of the zone breaker. He'll get into that free throw paint area, catch and make a good pass, kind of a hockey assist type guy.
Yeah, ALA, I think the only team certainly that I've covered so far at the tournament that is starting 2 underclassmen, a freshman and a sophomore, with Swarns and Gibson.
You forget Gibson's a sophomore. You just do, because he's that good. Back in the game, as mentioned, was Farr. Ben Lomond going to slow it down a little bit. This is more of the style they played against Grantsville yesterday. Ben Lomond only finished with 34 points, already have 14 in this opening quarter. The dish inside, kick back out, 3-pointer on the way, good-looking shot, no. Rebound comes down to Riker Mason. Mason lobs it, catch made by Swarns, and he's bumped. Good. You're a football guy. That was a great job by Swarns going up and securing the basketball.
High point it. That's right. I mean, so many times in the game of football, you talk about tight ends that used to play basketball that know how to high point and a box out, and that is just some football skills translating back over to the court.
Sub for ALA. Alexander returns, the senior. As Kakoa Beard gets his first break of the game. Over the outstretched hands of Farr. He's tall. He's not that tall. Taken away by Royster. Royster will pull back out and reset.
This tournament really is a marathon, and both these teams played 2 hard games yesterday, so the superstars for them, Beard and Gibson, that don't get a lot of rest normally whenever you space out your games just a couple in a week, are getting some rest today because it's the second day of a back-to-back.
Well, and you look at it, you win, you play tomorrow. You're playing 3-3, so
you're going to need your legs.
Swarns picks up the personal.
And just as we mentioned it, Gibson is checking back in. But still, that long of a rest, if it's even a minute, is longer than he normally gets during the season.
You're not wrong. Ball checked in. Up top, it's Royster. Royster puts it on the floor, drives, dishes, kick back out. Good ball movement here from Ben Lomond. Just leads to nothing there. You got to be a little more proactive and be willing to take a shot. Then again, they might be just holding for one final shot here with 18 seconds to play now.
Some clock
13.
awareness. But again, without a shot clock, you don't notice immediately what you need to do or what you don't.
Euro from Royster, blocked by Farr.
Good, Farr.
Up ahead to Swarns. And he just, that pass was a little out ahead of him, 1.1 remaining. I thought Riker Mason was just going to throw that one up.
And he probably could have gotten a lot closer. There was good coverage running down the court.
Zane Thornton into the game for ALA.
And Mason is fast with the ball in his hands.
And Williams doesn't take the shot. I thought he might have taken it. That'll end the first quarter. ALA led 14, or it was 11-0, I believe.
14-0.
It was 14-0. 6 straight from ALA. We'll be back on Centricom Channel 10 and ETV.
I'm a mom raising 4 kids, so I know what you're dealing with. Distractions during homework time, faces buried in devices at dinner, not to mention the tug of war to pry devices away from my kids when it's time to go to bed. So I looked everywhere to find a system that could help me with everything I need. A system I can trust. And I found it. It's called CentraGuard by Centricom. You can get started with taking back the internet by visiting Centricom.com right now. CentraGuard. Better family internet.
It's time to supercharge your internet with a true broadband internet plan from Emory Telecom. Get ready for high gear downloads that power buffer-free streaming, gaming, sharing, and surfing. And fire up all your devices at once with reliable speeds amplified by the latest Wi-Fi equipment. Get on the fast track to a powerful online experience. Call or click EmoryTelecom.com to supercharge your internet today.
Welcome back on in. It's 14-6 your score. ALA trailed 14-0 Cole. They've scored 6 unanswered, playing much better, and it started with their defense.
Correct, yeah. So at first you look and you see a 6-0 run and you think, oh, good, their shooting got back on track. But, I mean, it was 14-0, and the
Ben Lomond
Scots
got whatever they wanted.
Yeah, they had 14 points with 2.5, I think it was, left in the first quarter. And so for ALA to be able to lock it down later, and a lot of that is Farr getting back on the court, one of the taller, longer guys. Jake East has some power matching up with him down low, but Farr's got maybe almost 5 or 6 inches on him.
No doubt. It'll be ALA basketball to start this second quarter. 14-6. ALA scored the last 6 as they trail it here. Russ Gibson, who has not scored yet tonight. Swarns has been involved so far as Casperson gets it over. Riker Mason thought about the 3. Now gives it over to Russ Gibson. Gibson with the basketball. Gets in the paint. Tries to step through. And it'll be a blocking foul. And as Gibson trying to avoid the contact. Not quite sure if Miguel Santos was going to be there. Santos picks up, I believe, his second personal. It'll be the 3rd team foul on Ben Lomond. Preston Williams in along with Zach Webster.
Gibson has a way of dancing around and just running, but making sprints and laps around some of the other guys on the court. That's sometimes he thinks he's a little more nimble than he actually is there.
Got to make that pass quicker. Russ catches beautiful no-look dish inside. Zane Thornton the follow. No, a miss as, boy, how athletic is, how many times are we going to see Kakoa Beard save a ball that's near going out of bounds? And he just seems to hang in the air for a very long time. Beard hands it back off to Preston Williams. Williams will give it over on the left side to Caleb Alexander. Catching high now is Beard. Good ball movement here. Williams is in the corner. They try to go inside to Santos. Good position. And the drought ends. Miguel Santos for 2.
And that's how you do it. So they did have a lot of ball motion, and eventually they got Farr out of his place in the paint and found the mismatch with Gibson lined up against their big man, and that's a score.
Zach Webster over on the left side. Going to give it back over to Riker Mason. Mason handoff Gibson. 6:39 to go. Russ Gibson with the basketball. Gets it over in the corner, and it's caught by House. Or no, that's Webster, rather. Now up top of the key, guarded out front by Alexander. Riker Mason puts it on the floor, gets in the paint, throws up a tough shot, and that's going to be another foul on Santos. Poor Miguel Santos. He's got about as many fouls as he does minutes here in this first half.
And so we'll see Jake East come back in for him.
2 sophomores. They're 2 bigger guys. Of course, Kakoa Beard, you could consider him a bigger guy with guard skills. They'll send Riker Mason to the line. He shoots it at 71% on the season. No good on the first.
There is no announcer jinx.
No such thing.
Although it might seem like
I told Greg in our last one, I'm not superstitious, but I am a little superstitious, just a bit. Always like to throw that one out there. Mason will get one more and connects there. 16-7 now our score, 6:22 to go in the second quarter. Coming up, semifinal matchups. We're almost halfway done with today, which seems crazy. And that means we're halfway done with the entire tournament.
Seems like we just got here.
Williams thought about the shot out high. Inside, good strong move. Another good strong move and another block. Boy, Mason Farr's length. And then it goes off of Jake East.
That's a good defensive win for Farr. So like we said before, Jake East, he's got power. If he can get him off him a little bit more to create some distance, that's going to be how you beat him. But just going straight up, you're bigger than sometimes some of the teams that you're going to play. But this is States. Everyone's good. And right now, Farr's got some length on you.
Webster from Lillard range at short. Rebound recovered by Swarns. Kicks it back out, Webster. Head fakes the three, gets in the lane. Nice little floater. It falls short. Farr trying to save it. Goes out of bounds. It'll be Ben Lomond basketball.
Webster hasn't been afraid of shooting those so far, but maybe he should have a little bit of fear going forward because that one wasn't particularly close.
He's a 33% three-point shooter, 6 points per game for the senior. Checking in for the first time is Trenton Harris. And sitting will be Chauncey Whitty, the senior. A lot of seniors with this Ben Lomond. And when I say a lot of seniors, they're all seniors or sophomores on this varsity roster. Gibson the steal. Takes it away. Right to the coast and lays it up and in. Good play. That's how Russ Gibson starts, Cole. He gets out in transition, finishes there with a nice deuce, 16-9.
That's exciting. I mean, every time Gibson's on the court, it feels like there's a highlight possibility. That's one of them. We'll see if there's a few more.
Corner three by the Scots. It's strong as Harris had a good look. Outlet to Gibson. Again, a transition opportunity. Goes up. Great move. Can't finish. Farr gets it. Finishes for two. Might have gotten away with the walk, but it was a close call either way.
East might have gotten away from fouling him on the way up. So
that's a good point. So it's 16-11 now, an 11-2 run for American leadership. Pull-up jump shot is short, and then the offensive rebound. Tough for Caleb Alexander getting his own board. Tough shot in the lane for two. It's off. Rebound, Farr. Farr with the basketball. Just taking away. Lazy pass from Farr. That's like Rudy Gobert bringing it down. And Beard tries throwing it down. It's no good. Rebound, Alexander. Kicks it back over in the corner to East, rather. And now a reset to Williams. Step back jumper from Beard. Good.
Get the ball back in his hands. That'll settle down the offense.
He's in double figures with 11. He's tied with ALA if you just put up his points to the Eagles. But ALA has scored 11 of the last 15 points in this contest. Gibson comes off the high screen, looks to spin off of it. Great move from Gibson to the rack for two. Can't finish it. Another offensive board from Farr. That stick back doesn't go, and they call the foul late. And I love the look.
It might be on Beard.
I love the look on Ben Lomond's coach's face. He's just looking like, come on, man. Like, come on.
Just sitting casually, kind of arm on the scorer's table.
Who started the come on, man on ESPN Sunday Countdown?
Keyshawn Johnson?
Was it Keyshawn that did come on,
so.
man? As Farr connects on the first free throw, one of my favorite This Is Sports Center commercials is when Keyshawn Johnson and Kobe Bryant were rookies. Keyshawn in his Jets uniform and Kobe in his Lakers.
Number
8. Stuart Scott is teaching them how to teach smack. Two of the biggest smack talkers in the history of sports, and you knew as rookies they were going to be that way. One of my favorite commercials.
All of those This Is Sports
They're all
Centers
great. I don't think of one that I don't like. As the second one's off from Farr, the one I really like is LeBron when he's either in his first or second year and he's putting in paper in the tray and can't do it, and Stuart Scott just looks at him for a printer, I should say, and Stuart just looks at him and goes, chosen one, huh?
Yeah.
Love that one. Love that one. Scott's moving the basketball around. It's Alexander out high. Kicks it over in the corner.
They stretch out a lot, too. Like, they create their own space because they play their two-man game high off of the arc.
Kakoa Beard for three.
Oof.
His fourth three of the game in the first half, and Kakoa makes it 21-12. We got a palindrome in the first half.
From college range as well, firmly behind both three-point lines.
Swarns blocked. First it was deflected and then blocked. They try to go to Beard. Gibson. Crossover. Russ Gibson so quick. Gives it over to Mason. Mason blocked again. Oh, my goodness. Caleb Alexander with the rejection.
Mason and Gibson can play that game where it seems like they're in each other's heads and don't even have to look to pass it to each other. But
Beard in and out, had a great look. Isaac House pulls it back out. Going to give to Mason. No one comes out on him. NBA range 3. It's no good. Swarns fights for it. Off the fingertips of Alexander, and it will stay with the American Leadership Eagles.
And Swarns trying to tell the official that he was being wrapped while he couldn't get to it. It ends up staying at the ALA possession, but he's having a long conversation with that ref.
So it'll be Russ Gibson to trigger on the baseline. 2:24 to go. 21-12 our score. Gibson will fire in to House, kicks it to the corner to Webster. Webster will send back up high. And ALA will reset. House puts it on the deck, gives to Gibson. Russ Gibson draws a quick double and then comes out of it, guarded by Trenton Harris. Gibson with the tape on the left wrist, looks to crossover. Does. Beautiful crossover from Gibson. Euro step float. Up and no good. Rebound inside. What a board for Jake East. And then taken away. Heads up play from Isaac House. Swarns puts it on the floor and traveled with it.
Yeah.
Shuffled before he put it down.
And his offense wasn't ready because it was such a quick turnover, his whole team was back there. It was a 2-on-4, which is not numbers for you if you're the Eagles.
No.
And he was so excited to get to the basket in through coverage that he travels with it.
Beard returns. Short breather for Beard. I didn't even realize he came.
Went out. He's checking back in, though.
Minute 58 to go here in the second. Also into the game is Fariel Coronado for Ben Lomond. Williams in the corner. Coronado drives it inside. Kicks to Beard. Now back outside. It goes to Alexander 3. No good. Ball fought for.
Good
Rebound
box
inside.
out by East.
I tell you what, I would not want to be the guy that's job was to box out Jake East. That guy goes after the basketball so tenaciously. I mean, it is just phenomenal what he does.
He sprinted in. We saw in the replay just to get his position because so far has that length, and he can out-rebound, most people in this division.
Yeah.
But he was just a little bit lackadaisical to get there, and East just kind of runs around him to get the inside position. So Farr's only choice was to kind of go up and above the back. And then also, another foul.
East connects on the free throw. It's 22-12, lead back to 10. It was 14-0. And now it's 23-12. ALA not going away, but Ben Lomond answering back after a little bit of a run by the Eagles.
Yeah, 14's the large lead for the game, and we probably won't see another one like that because ALA is matching up much better now that they're settled into the second day of the tournament.
Isaac House with it. Outside, lobs into Mason Farr. Mason catches, backing down East. Turns, hooks, and East gets a piece of it. Swarns goes up, and they call another late foul. I thought Coronado got him. The whistle comes in late anyway, and it'll be 2 free throws here for Swarns.
Farr was working on backing down East, and East refused to move like a brick wall that he was backed up against. And I think Farr thought he got more position, and then East gets a little tip of it, but very short.
Free throw here for Swarns is up and good. Tad Swarns, just a freshman, shoots 73%. Sub as Jarrett Mason comes in. Looks like I'm going to assume Riker's his brother because they are built the exact same way, wear their shorts the same, and have the long sleeves out there. Under the jersey is Swarns hits both free throws, 23-14 the score. Alexander with the basketball, guarded by Webster. They give it over to Preston Williams. Williams will bounce, back over. Thinking about the 3 and driving now is Alexander. Hop step over to Williams. Surprised Williams hasn't shot a little bit more as that ball might have been tipped, and is not. It goes back to ALA.
Yeah,
Williams is a good shooter. I'm surprised he hasn't taken more.
Right. Gibson certainly could have caught up with that, and so he was pretty confident that it wasn't tipped. And if the refs had called it going the other way, he would have felt very silly.
Gibson had to call a guy back, but now breaks down, kicks it over to Mason. 3 out of the corner is good for the junior Jarrett Mason.
The younger one will be back next year.
That's right. Out of the corner. Cuts the lead to 6. I tell you, ALA refuses to quit. It's been their theme all tournament. And a foul out on Mason. That'll be number 6. So we are shooting here for the final 41.2. Any foul that's not an offensive foul will be shooting. Or as they call it, a player control foul. Kakoa Beard with the basketball over on the right side. Jab step. Looks to cross over Webster. Kicks it back over to Williams. Now goes in the corner. East sends it back to Williams. Now Alexander with the basketball. Puts it on the deck. Drives. No look. Trying to get a little showy there and turns it not over, but it is a deflection and will stay Ben Lomond basketball.
When you don't look at the guy you're passing to, you can look cool. And you can fool the defense, but you can also fool your own offense too. And Jake East was just not ready for that pass to come his way.
Timeout with 24.9 to go. So 14 points. It was 14-0. It is since a 17-9 run for ALA. What's changed the most, Cole, since that opening quarter?
Their quickness on defense, right?
Yeah.
So they sit in a shallow zone, I guess is what it is. They're far inside, and Ben Lomond tries to spread them out by getting the offense set up far away from the basket. But they've been quick to get up, right? As soon as someone gets the ball, they're not giving Ben Lomond space anymore to operate whatever they want. And once you throw just a little chink into that, then Ben Lomond's operation hasn't been as easy, right? They haven't found those easy threes at all.
Absolutely. 24.9 to go, coming up at half. Brad James will get us a stat check. Brad's just in his own little world over there. Certainly enjoying himself.
Could not do what we do without Brad.
That is 100% correct. 23-17, again, our score here. What's being talked about, Cole, in these timeouts as we play for the final 24 of the second quarter?
Well, Ben Lomond's drawing up that one good play, right? They've taken plenty of time, so you know it's probably going to start off. They get outside the three-point arc, but they need to know, like, at what time do we do we start moving? At what time exactly are we getting into that play so that they ensure that they're the ones with the last shot? Because even with a shot clock, it's their ball.
Williams with it. Shot clock does come into play next year, and they wanted the 5-second count. Don't get it. Kakoa Beard steps into a three, throws it up, no, and they've got Casperson down there. He takes it up strong and lays it in. 15 seconds to go. It's a 4-point game.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say that wasn't the play that they had drawn up.
A tough rush shot from Kakoa Beard. East with the basketball. 4 seconds down to 3. Back to East. He'll take the three. Good-looking shot. It's off the mark. Wow, ends the half. 14-0. Ben Lomond was in front. Now they only lead at 23-19. A 19-9 run to end the half for ALA dating back to the first quarter. We'll be back with some halftime stats. You're listening and watching on Centricom Channel 10 and ETV.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, the Ben Lomond High School cheerleaders.
service relationship continues long after installation, and we're available to support you every step of the way. That's why if there is a problem with our equipment, a service visit from us means no cost to you. We know the value of a satisfied customer, so if you refer us to a friend, we'll take care of them and you'll get 1 month of service free. We promise to make your experience the best it can be. Centricom, keeping you connected.
Hi, I'm Dustin Shakespeare, the Central Region Pathways Coordinator. Do you know what pathways are offered at your high school that connect with Snow College? Students enrolled in career technical education courses can develop valuable real-world technical skills and a strong academic foundation. Over 630 students completed CTE pathways last year in the Central Utah region. Our 35 pathways empower students to explore career options, pursue what they are passionate about, and earn valuable industry certifications. To learn more about these career pathways, talk to your CTE teachers and school counselors today.
Digital cable is a classic. But if you're not enjoying more streaming video services, you're missing out. Emory Telecom has the eFiber internet speeds and reliable Wi-Fi you need for flawless video streaming from all the latest services on all your devices. Whether you want to enhance your streaming options or connect with maximum bandwidth, Emory Telecom's got a sweet plan to make everyone happy. Call or visit emerytelecom.com now to upgrade for just $10 more per month.
At Auto Farm Price Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, we make it happen for you.
Auto Farm has a huge selection of vehicles to choose from at the guaranteed lowest price. Auto Farm will not be undersold. The best deal on a new or pre-owned vehicle is at Auto Farm. If they don't have what you're looking for, they'll find it for you. Find all the great deals and all their inventory online at PriceChryslerDodgeJeep.com.
At Auto Farm Price Ford, Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, we make it happen for you.
Hi, I'm Dustin Shakespeare, the Central Region Pathways Coordinator. Do you know what pathways are offered at your high school that connect with Snow College? Students enrolled in career technical education courses can develop valuable real-world technical skills and a strong academic foundation. Over 630 students completed CTE pathways last year in the Central Utah region. Our 35 pathways empower students to explore career options, pursue what they are passionate about, and earn valuable industry certifications. To learn more about these career pathways, talk to your CTE teachers and school counselors today.
JN Auto loves our customers and our community, so we have sanitized our entire inventory. Mold, germs, and yes, coronavirus are eradicated. Our all-natural treatment is safe for you, your pets, and anyone you take along in your new ride. After 6 months, stop by and we can get you rolling germ-free again. Treatments are offered in a single application or a 1, 3, or 5-year contract. Stop by your local JN Auto location to learn more about our sanitizing options.
Welcome back on in. It's American Leadership Academy and Ben Lomond. The Scots of Ben Lomond lead at 23-19 at the half. Cole, it was 14-0. Now it's 23-19. ALA
now it is not.
Got back on track. Let's go over some shooting numbers overall. Scots, the thing that's given them the lead is three-point shooting. They're at 42%, which we'll gladly take. Just 35%, though, for the night. ALA, 26% from the 27% from the field, 14 from 3.
And that
they're back in the game.
1 for 7. The only 3 that they've seen is from the younger Mason.
That's
who
right.
Shot, almost crazily, an insane
corner pocket
audacity to shoot it high arcing. I mean, he's a little shorter, he's smaller, he's a junior. High arcing 3 that just found its way to the bottom of the net. But no one else has been able to really connect. If that can turn around, like we say with these streaky shooting teams, if they can just have a good half, 4 points is absolutely nothing.
Yeah. No, absolutely. And turnovers are a big part of that. Now, ALA only had 1 assist to 11 turnovers. You think, how the heck are you in the game? Well, they've out-rebounded the Scots. They have 8 offensive rebounds. That's a really big key for the Eagles. And they got out in transition late because they forced some turnovers themselves. Ben Lomond got out early with those turnovers they forced and didn't really take advantage of any of the other turnovers they had in the second quarter. So,
yeah, and an assist-to-turnover ratio is a nice little analytics number that we like looking at, but it doesn't always tell the whole story. Of course, the way the Scots play basketball, they're going to have more assists because they're constantly moving it, but the just pure turnover number is really close, and then points off of turnovers, I think, would be more interesting because that's where ALA got their first points of the game. We mentioned that 14-0 deficit they saw early. It was Mason that turned that around by just running the length of the floor to get you your first 2, and energy-wise, that changed the feel of the game.
Coming up after this game, it's going to be, I believe it is the girls' side of the bracket in the championship, the Final Four, as Judge Memorial will take on Morgan, the number 1 versus the number 5 seed. Judge Memorial undefeated. Looked impressive last night in the second half. Ben Lomond basketball to start this third quarter. And they go with a different 5, does American Leadership. They go with Jarrett Mason. So,
rounding out that girls' bracket, it is Morgan and Judge Memorial in the next game, and then Richfield, the 2 seed, against LCA, starting at 5:50.
Great pass inside from Alexander as he finds Jake East. Mason for 3, short. That's Jarrett Mason, assuming that's the younger brother of Riker. And Riker now playing without his sleeves, should point that out. Ball blocked. Casperson with the steal. Behind the back, Gibson. Russ leads the break, drives, floats, scoops, can't finish. Farr's right there for the easy stick back, though. Mason Farr, and the lead's back down to 4, 25-21. Ben Lomond still in front.
Gibson took Jake East with him as he attempted that layup, and that left Farr just open for whatever he needed.
Kick to the corner. Thought by Whitty. The drive by Williams. Great bounce into East. Oh, and he rushed. I think he was surprised he was so open, but he fights, gets the offensive board. Russ Gibson gets another steal. Another transition opportunity for ALA. Gibson right to the rig. Oh, what a block from Williams. Are you kidding me? What a rejection from Preston Williams.
Preston Williams is not scared. Gibson makes some shifty moves and gets very nifty with the basketball. Is just glue for hands, able to take that away in the first place. But yeah, just stuffed.
Ben Lomond basketball, getting it in the corners. Williams hit a 3 early and then kind of quieted down after that. I believe those are his only 3 points of the night. Steal again. They outlet it far. Riker Mason hesitates, will take the 3 and make the 3, and we've got a 1-point game. ALA refusing to go away. Timeout, Ben Lomond. My goodness, these Eagles have had a fight and a grit about them over the last 2 weeks, and it's continued into this Friday in the consolation bracket.
This is not your typical 18 seed. I mean, a typical 18 seed doesn't even get the invite to Weber because they have that play-in round that ends up happening, and they've gotten here and they have been unafraid. I mean, the way that they shot against Manti also, that game did not even end up being close, but they still shot their shots. And so today is just a new day. They got some sleep in them. They're used to this gym, and now they're shooting back to what they were in that first round that they saw an upset over North St. Pete.
You know, depth perception is a real thing. Whether people want to say it is or isn't is ridiculous, and not a good sign if you're Ben Lomond. Jake East heading into the locker room. Not sure quite what is going on there, but he is not on the floor. and is now walking back out a little bit gingerly. Might just be needing to get an ankle retaped or maybe having some cramps.
Yeah, just a little attention from the trainer. That means Miguel Santos, who does have some foul problem, is back in trying to anchor down that low post. Against Farr, that is a big ask of anyone. It's going to take a team effort.
And now they get it out to Williams. 6:06 to go. Over out front from Kakoa Beard. Now they give it over to Preston Williams. Williams deflected again. Boy, Riker Mason. The combination of Riker Mason, his brother Jarrett Mason, as the missed three inside, and that last going to be touched. Yeah, Farr was the tallest guy out there. He was the last one to touch it. It stays Scots basketball.
I wonder what ALA's off-season cardio regimen is, because they run around more than any other team that I've seen here either. Mason, the younger Mason, Jarrett Mason, was caught out of position because he was chasing the loose ball and ran almost the hole around the court. His guy was open, but he got there in time to kind of rush the shot and
5-second call. Another Ben Lomond turnover. We thought they were a problem in the second quarter for the Scots. Well, hey, Mr. Scots, what you going to do? What you going to do about your turnover problem? That's what I'm asking Ben Lomond right now.
It has become a problem that they need to pay attention to.
Mason thought about the deep three, gets it over in the corner to his brother, and now Riker another three. Oh, my goodness. And all of a sudden, the Eagles of ALA have a 2-point lead after trailing 14-0. They are on a 27-11 run dating back to about, 2:50 to go in the opening quarter?
Yeah, right around that 3-minute mark is where things changed. Jarrett Mason, when he first head faked, I was like, he's not actually thinking about shooting that three. He just wants to make his defender think that.
Oh, no,
and then he shoots just as ridiculous of a one as he makes the move.
Out front, it's Kakoa Beard. Crossover. Kakoa's been quiet. Near turnover again. Williams sends it in the corner. They go low inside Santos. Reverse layup draws the foul on Casperson and will now go to the line for two. That is Miguel Santos.
Gibson takes those gambles, right? So you talk to anyone that, gambles for a living. You've got to push in big and go after things. Make big swings. That's what analytics has kind of taught us in the world of sports recently. And Gibson is constantly going for big turnovers because he wants those points off of turnover that are just widely available. Sometimes he leaves his man open, and it causes problems for his defense.
It's a gamble.
But it's good enough defense behind him that he can just go for things.
Well, when you got a guy like Mason Farr protecting the paint, Mason's been much better today than he was yesterday against Manti.
Against Manti's very disciplined approach, they were not thrown off of their game at all whenever they saw all this chaotic running from ALA.
One more shot coming here from Santos. And he has an interesting routine where he takes a few steps before he dribbles on the free throw attempt. Good-looking shot. Miguel Santos, just a sophomore for the Scots team. No juniors listed on their varsity roster. Another three, Riker Mason. Rushed that one maybe a tad bit. Good look either way. Rebound to Alexander.
That one was Jarrett. So it went Mason to Gibson to Mason again.
My goodness.
Not to be confused with Mason Farr, who plays down low.
They all look the same, too.
It's the official haircut of the ALA.
As the Eagles now trail again, as Beard finally gets back in the game. Mason thought about the three, gets it back up top. Gibson. Oh, did you see Mason, his hand shaking? He was ready to catch and shoot that. Jump ball. Possession stays with the Eagles of ALA. Isaac House going to check back on in. And Russ Gibson's going to trigger on the baseline.
I wonder if Jarrett Mason knew that his minutes were about up and he only had one more shot in and was like, give me the ball, give me the ball, give me the ball, give me the ball. Because now it's House in, and House will be the trigger man. I think they'll try to get it to Gibson is the move. Yep.
They go back to Russ. Guarded out high by Trenton Harris. Swings it back over Casperson. Puts the ball on the floor, kicks it back out. Riker Mason thought about it. Now Gibson puts it on the deck, kicks it over in the corner. House for three. Good-looking shot. It's off. Farr, another offensive board. Kicks it out Riker. Mason for three. In and out. Farr taps it.
A little bit long.
And it ends up in the hands of Trenton Harris.
So that's the disadvantage when all of your guys are around the perimeter. Even though Farr was able to get a hand on it and kind of move it back like he's moving it towards one of his guys were so far away that the Scots still were able to pull in the rebound.
Scott's moving the basketball around. It's Alexander. He's been much better on drives like that where he penetrates and hits the shot, gets the friendly roll. 6 unanswered after the three to put ALA up Ben Lomond's not been messing around, getting into the paint and getting good looks.
Caleb Alexander's one of those look for your spot kind of shooters.
Oh, what a play, and Farr can't finish it. Gibson had him perfectly. The lob out ahead for Alexander, catches it low. Trapped along the baseline, gives it over. Kick back out. The drive from Kakoa Beard, and is clearly fouled.
Yeah.
Clearly fouled. Will go to the free throw line for 2.
Make him earn them.
Beard was phenomenal to start. Had 3 threes in the first quarter. 4 threes in the first half. He averages 14 a game. That's what he had at halftime. Free throw is off.
That's what you get for fouling him.
Now a large gathering here of new Eagles checking in. Thornton, along with Robertson and Swarns, all in the game. And back in for Ben Lomond is Chauncey Whitty. And they're going to put in Farrell Coronado.
Coronado, who we saw during the shoot-around at the end of halftime, is able to dunk and dunk confidently. A lot of high school kids say that they can dunk, and they can kind of dunk. No, but Coronado can dunk. It
was better than any of the dunk contest dunks we saw last Saturday.
Low blow.
It was.
It was a fine all-star weekend.
It was. I just didn't like the dunk contest. I liked pretty much everything else.
I mean, the dunk contest, they didn't do a lot of dunking.
Well,
they did a lot of missing.
That's the problem. If you don't have Aaron Gordon and Zach LaVine, it's going to be tough for me to watch it. Of course, I'll watch Donovan if he ever does it again. But anyway, Robertson gets it back out to Russ Gibson. Russ over on the side. Looks to dribble drive. Kicks it in the corner to Swarns. He's going to skip cross court to House. House takes the 3. Short. Rebound to Williams. Williams going to outlet it beautifully up ahead. And the layup is good. What a finish for Whitty.
Amazing to get around Gibson because they didn't outrun Gibson at all. He was right there and then bracketed on the other side by House running just behind. So his arm angle just moved it around at the exact place that it had to be and rolled it right in.
Swarns, who does not shoot many threes, misses that one. Rebound Robertson. Russ Gibson with it, skips it over to House. House ball fakes. Takes a tough 3, and it's short. Rebound comes out to Williams.
House does not shoot well on the season from 3. He got
hot against
North Sanpete, but generally speaking this season. That
was odd. Williams kicked it out in the corner. The missed 3 from Whitty. I thought there was a bump. No call. They didn't think there was a foul, and that's going to be blocked and out of bounds. And shout out to Dylan
Heads
Smith.
Up, Dylan.
Nearly getting taken out on the baseline with the camera. Let's check the replay here.
Keep an eye on the cameraman. Standing tall.
That wasn't as bad as I thought it was. Good job, Dylan. Looking to trigger now is Gibson on the baseline. A couple more shooters in between Webster and Mason. Picked cleanly. Taken away by Whitty. Chauncey pulls it back out, leaves it, and a quick double from ALA. They continue to do that.
They kind of hacked at him.
Yeah, Thornton bumped pretty heavily with the body, so it'll be just the 3rd team foul on ALA. How about Ben Lomond? They have not fouled here in the second half.
Well, they haven't been called for a foul. Both teams are playing pretty physical.
Yeah, been the good kind of chippy game. It's not so much teams, they've just been playing hard and have a lot that they want to prove.
Hasn't necessarily gotten to that emotional part that it sometimes can.
Ben Lomond basketball. Corner 3-point shot from
one,
Williams.
Preston.
It's no good. It looked good. And now Mason with it.
That miss aside, he still needs to make shots like that.
Another 3 from the younger Mason. Thornton taps it to himself. Zane Thornton. Now to Swarns. Swarns, power, shoot, score. What a move from the freshman, Tad Swarns.
As Swarns gets bigger in his sophomore, junior, senior years to come, he is going to be a force down low for ALA.
Ball goes in the corner. It's caught outside by Trenton Harris. He gets it. Free throw line jumper from Beard. Short. Rebound to Thornton. ALA continues to hang around, only down by 5. Mason with it. Back to the younger Mason for 3, and that's good. Oh, my goodness.
Splash.
Jarrett Mason has come off the bench. He has not played in the last 2 playoff games. I'm not sure if he played against Richfield or not, but he's been the spark they needed here tonight. 34-32, final minute. And there's a 3, Preston Williams.
That's what I said, right? So he's getting to his right spot, and he needs some shooters just need some volume, and that might be what Preston needs in the fourth quarter to be able to stay hot.
Webster finds Swarn. Swarn's going to kick it back out. Riker Mason thought about the three, puts it on the deck, kicked back out Webster. College range three for Zach. It's no good, and a foul going the other way.
Yeah, I think Swarns was fighting a little bit too much to get his positioning down low.
So the Eagles will pick up their fourth team foul of the half.
Yeah, you can see him kind of pushing around, and he really takes it to Coronado down there. But Swarns, as he was driving on the possession before that, he had a shot reel where he could just go straight at Preston Williams. Taller guy, but not necessarily like your big man. Ben Lomond was playing with a smaller lineup.
Scots basketball for the final 36 seconds remaining here in the third quarter. Well, the Eagles, I wondered if the same thing was going to happen. They led for a brief moment here against Ben Lomond in the second half in this third quarter. They did that against Manti, and then the floodgates opened for the Templars. Beautiful basketball. Count it, and one. What a job by Chauncey Whitty on the dribble penetration, and then Miguel Santos with the finish. He'll buy two, and he'll get one for free.
And Swarns is already walking over to the bench.
Couple subs as Casperson and Russ Gibson returns. Really fortunate ALA to not get behind more with Gibson on the bench. And they can thank Jarrett Mason for that, the junior. Free throw coming here from Santos. Alexander in for Preston Williams. Big shot from Preston just a few moments ago with a three-pointer.
Fresh legs for both teams as they get ready for this final push.
Free throw on the way. Up and off. Rebound to Farr. Gets it to Jarrett Mason. Jarrett's going to get it up ahead to Riker Mason. Now back over Jarrett. Not hesitating at all. Three is up. Bounce it in. Are you kidding me? Oh, my goodness. Jarrett Mason with another three and the lead down to 4. ALA will not go away.
When it's your day, it's your day.
Throws up a wild shot at the buzzer. It's no good as Chauncey Whitty had a look at a long two. ALA still hanging in there. Only down 4. We'll be back with fourth quarter action next on Centricom Channel 10 and ETV.
I'm a mom raising 4 kids, so I know what you're dealing with. Distractions during homework time, faces buried in devices at dinner, not to mention the tug of war to pry devices away from my kids when it's time to go to bed. So I looked everywhere to find a system that could help me with everything I need. A system I can trust. And I found it. It's called CentraGuard by Centricom. You can get started with taking back the internet by visiting Centricom.com right now. CentraGuard. Better family internet.
It's time to supercharge your internet with a true broadband internet plan from Emory Telecom. Get ready for high gear downloads that power buffer-free streaming, gaming, sharing, and surfing. And fire up all your devices at once with reliable speeds amplified by the latest Wi-Fi equipment. Get on the fast track to a powerful online experience. Call or click EmoryTelecom.com to supercharge your internet today.
Centricom believes the service relationship continues long after installation, and we're available to support you every step of the way. That's why if there is a problem with our equipment, a service visit from us means no cost to you. We know the value of a satisfied customer, so if you refer us to a friend, we'll take care of them and you'll get 1 month of service free. We promise to make your experience the best it can be. Centricom, keeping you connected.
Welcome back on in. Fourth quarter about to start. Ben Lomond leads 39-35. Scots started to figure out a little bit more there, Cole. They scored 16 points in the third quarter, most that they've had in a period. ALA scored 16, also the most they've had for a quarter here tonight. Ball being moved around. Williams thought about the three, drives it inside, reverse lay-in, no. Rebound comes down to Casperson.
It's generally been a high-scoring game. The winner of this game will see Morgan.
Mason had another look at a three. It's no good as Casperson hits the deck.
A little bit of a heat check at that point.
I mean, at this point, you might as well.
Yeah, so Morgan awaits the winner of this game for the Consolation Bracket Championship, the 5th place spot. And they scored 39 in their entire game against Summit Academy to get there.
And Ben Lomond only had 34 yesterday against Grantsville, and they've got 39 heading into the fourth quarter. House gives it back to Mason, and Russ Gibson, I believe, is back on the bench. They go down to Farr. Farr kicks it back over. Riker Mason, another three, and that's good. Are you kidding me? The story of tonight, or this afternoon, Jarrett Mason, not Riker, Jarrett Mason, the younger brother who has not played in the last 2 tournament games, has cut this lead down to 1. That's got to be number 4 or 5 for him.
Yeah, at least 4, and all of them such a high arcing shot as well. He's a slight kid.
Kind of a tough shot there. I don't love the look from Trent Harris.
And he's the one that comes down with that tough rebound around guys that are much bigger and stronger than he is.
Thought about that one. Beautiful slip into Casperson. Casperson tiptoes baseline. Ball moving around. Mason stands out at the NBA three-point line. Now gets it back to House. House straight away. Now Riker Mason on the left side. Riker goes into House. House bumped and fouled. You're going to call that out front on Royster. Ben Lomond has not picked up a foul until just then here in the second half.
A lot of fouls would have to happen for ALA to be shooting free throws down the stretch.
Yes.
Ben Lomond has to be very happy with the way that has gone for them.
Timeout on the floor. We'll keep it here. 6:23 to go in this one. I don't know what else to say about Jarrett Mason. I just don't.
These are the kind of stories that tournaments like this don't lend themselves to, right? Guys coming out of nowhere. March is less than a week away, Tanner.
It's a couple days away.
And March is when we get into that college basketball spirit and teams can go on runs through their conference tournament and into the big dance. And it's guys that maybe didn't show up, didn't have opportunities during the course of the regular season that can just take over in these kind of ways, in these kind of environments as well.
6:23 to go here in the fourth. It's Ben Lomond 39, ALA 38.
Sometimes the consolation bracket doesn't quite see the fan attendance as the main bracket as we get closer and closer, but a decent showing here for both teams. The Scots unfortunately sent their bagpipes home after yesterday. I was excited when we walked into
Oh, my goodness, you're right. I forgot about that. We only got to hear it for a little bit.
Right, as we walked into the stadium after that first game. But
by the way, I got to just point this out. I love that Michael Scott from The Office thinks he's part Scottish simply because his last name is Scott. You got to be, right? Great heritage of Ben Lomond, of course. And, again, I love the uniforms with the baby blue. Kakoa tips that. It ends up in the hands of Casperson. Ball's fought for, and possession stays with ALA.
Yep.
A good hustle from the Scots there.
And let's do it again.
So, yeah, triggering from the exact same spot. Be Riker Mason. Jarrett Mason, the younger brother, who's not played in this tournament much, has been the guy. They go long to House. House goes up and gets it. Kicks it in the corner and off the face of Riker Mason. Love to have that one back. Goes back to Ben Lomond.
Just left staring at his hands, wondering what went wrong.
Caleb Alexander will trigger the inbound.
A weird, just chink that has showed up in ALA's game is getting the ball inbounds. They play a lot of different ways, but they have not had a solid play. It seems like they're always throwing it long or having chaos down low.
Ball movement, three-point shot, good. Oh, that looked good the moment it left Caleb Alexander's hands. Lead back to 4 for Ben Lomond. Riker Mason bounces over to House. Gibson going to set to check in at the next whistle. Casperson poked out, taken away by Chauncey Whitty. Chauncey leads the break, goes right to the basket. Great transition D, but ALA didn't get back quick enough, and the offensive rebound and stick back goes to Miguel Santos. Lead back to 6 for Ben Lomond.
Jarrett was standing there waiting.
Kick ball stays with ALA here.
But it gives Gibson and Swarns a chance to get into the game.
That's a good point. Swearens has been up and down tonight, but has had some big moments, some good finishes at the rim, good at the free throw line. Good rebounder is Swearens.
Also, I love Coach staying with the hot hand. It is Jarrett Mason that stays into the game.
Bounce to Russ Gibson. Gibson with the basketball, going to send it over to House. Gibson he's a shooter. He's got his pocket ready with it. Gets it back out House. Now Swearens with it. Pick up, back out House. Takes a deep college range three short. Swearens fights for it, and oh my goodness, collision. It's going to be ALA basketball. And Santos a little quick to get up. Usually you say a little slow. I think he got up unusually quick. And it'll stay Eagle basketball. 5 minutes and 8 seconds remaining in this one. ALA was down 14-0. They led at one point in the third quarter. And they're going to get a timeout here. Full timeout. Cole, what do the Eagles got to do to continue the magical run that they've had?
They need to continue some magical shooting streaks is what needs to happen.
So you're saying give the ball to Jarrett Mason.
See if Jarrett Mason can stay hot as he is, because Ben Lomond has guys that can find their spot and are just money. Like if they can get into the right place. Beard especially, we talk about Alexander as well, where if they can just get the ball in the right spot, Preston Williams, they're pretty good at shooting. And ALA's defense, although it runs around and they cannot be faulted for a lack of effort, it sometimes does not have like the perfect discipline that defense needs at this point in the season. And so ALA needs to keep scoring with Ben Lomond, which means they need to continue to get lucky from three.
Eagle basketball, ALA is going to go with Russ Gibson out there along with House, Swarns, Mason the Younger, and Mason Farr.
It is interesting. So I mentioned they've had problems getting the ball inbounded, and it's weird when you have that one big star that scores per game so much more than everyone else, Gibson. That's not normally your trigger guy. That's normally the guy you try to find to get the ball and to create your offense, but he's the one they trust right now, and he gets it cleanly into House.
You also always got to watch the inbounder. Farr tries a corner three. That looked good. No good. Rebound, Kakoa Beard.
It's worth trying, but probably now not for the rest of the game.
It was a good look. Beard up top, going to send him back to Preston Williams. Resetting high now is Whitty. Whitty catches in the middle, poked away. Another turnover. Farr's got it, gets it to House. Russ Gibson now with the basketball in firm control. Dribble drive, kick to the corner. Riker Mason, does he have another one? Oh, my goodness. And I keep saying Riker because that's his brother. Jarrett Mason with another three-point shot for ALA. They have once again cut it to three, and it came off a turnover.
And so if Ben Lomond, I mean, we keep talking about keys for this 18 seed to make the upset, and we've kind of neglected Ben Lomond having the lead and being the stronger team so far. But if they need to lock it down by not turning the ball over.
Crossover by Beard, and he's fouled out front by Swarns. That will be just the sixth team foul on ALA. So now shooting the rest of the way. Ben Lomond's only picked up one foul, and Cole, a big part of that is ALA has decided to live and die at the three-point line.
Yeah, they're not even trying to push it in. I mean, anytime Gibson starts making his move inside, it's in order to kick it back outside and start working it around the horn for the three again.
4:05 to go here in the fourth. If you're just joining us again, this was all Ben Lomond to start. It was 14-0.
And it theoretically should be Ben Lomond's game. They are the 6th seed in this tournament versus 18-seeded American Leadership Academy.
And it looks like Ted Swarns is fouled out. The freshman gets a nice round of applause.
Standing ovation. Very good.
Set to trigger is Whitty. Gets it in to Caleb Alexander. Alexander with the basketball, gives to Kakoa Beard. Beard puts it on the floor, floats. Fouled, will get 2 shots. Kakoa Beard making plays. And if Ben Lomond really wants to get push this thing far ahead, it's going to be on the back of Kakoa Beard.
Yeah, and it's their shooters, but Beard is the one that can really push inside and make things happen at the rim. Even against, much taller Farr, who played defense very cleanly, but then the foul was picked up by House.
Another shot coming here from Kakoa as he puts them up 45-41 with 3:59 to go. Second one short. Ball is loose, and Farr comes away with it. So a 4-point game. ALA still breathing, doing more than breathing at this point. Isaac House with the basketball.
But it's still that 4-point barrier right now.
Yeah.
That was the lead at half. That was the lead at the quarter.
Riker Mason, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Another 3 from Riker, and it's a 1-point game.
Jarrett.
It is Jarrett Mason. My apologies. My goodness. Jarrett Mason, the junior, did not play in the last 2 playoff games, has come in and sparked this Eagle squad. Rebound to Farr off the miss. Jarrett Mason
and off
now.
Of Jarrett Mason's noggin, too.
Gibson Mason into the corner to House. You've got to be kidding. This is unbelievable from Jarrett Mason.
And it's still very conventional defense from Ben Lomond, but because they're guarding that perimeter so much, you forget that they have the tallest guy on either team, Farr. They can make things happen down low.
And just laid it in to give ALA a 46-45 lead. 2:47 to go here in the fourth. This is the same Eagle squad we saw, and pretty clear that Jarrett Mason going to get called for the foul there. So it'll be Scots basketball. Oh, no, it's a 1-and-1. So I'll send Preston Williams to the free throw line. Williams, who averages 8 points a game. 46-45. This game has just become, I kind of worried when it was 14-0, not going to lie, because we like good games. I think everyone likes a good competitive game.
More entertaining to talk about. We don't want to just be rambling about the state of the NBA or whatever by the time it gets to the fourth quarter. But
now, should point out, Jake East is not checked in. He's now got that left knee wrapped, which is not good if you're a Ben Lomond fan. Second shot from Williams Strong. Gets his own rebound off the miss.
Good awareness.
Tied at 46 now. Casperson nearly got the steal. Good no-look pass into Santos. Santos takes it up. No. Tip. Good. What a tip by Kakoa Beard. Are you kidding me?
Had House in the air, and that's what tends to happen.
And the layup is good. Oh, they call a charge. So we've just got an update. Angelo Gill wears number 34. The roster said Santos. So ball goes, kicks back out to Williams. A dagger three, it's off. And over the back foul on Ben Lomond goes back to ALA.
And the foul did go on number 34, Gill.
46-48, Ben Lomond in front with 2:06 to go.
Gill, remember, in the game, because we talk about Jake East having that knee wrapped, he's walking around, he's kind of bending it, seeing if it's going to last him, if he can come in for this last 2 minutes or not.
Ball goes over on the left side to Riker Mason. Jarrett Mason remains in the game. He's been the story of the night tonight. Gibson gives it over to Mason. Now they give it back to Riker. Jarrett comes off the screen into a three, short. Casperson fights for the rebound, and it goes out of bounds to Ben Lomond.
Yeah.
ALA doesn't like the call.
Now, Jarrett Mason has been deadly from just spot shooting, waiting, for the ball, getting it, and shooting it very quick off his hands as well. But now Ben Lomond has gotten wise to it and is making him move with it, something he's not quite as comfortable with.
Williams fouled. Will go to the free throw line. Minute 27 to go and a 2-point lead for the Scots.
Yeah, Casperson was he had his hands up like he didn't foul, but we could hear the slap from back here.
Free throws here for Preston Williams. Up and good. (49-46), minute 27 to go. One more shot for Williams. Up and good.
Now back to that 4-point lead.
Chacon for three. Well short. Bit of a rush shot. With a minute 19 to go. Having Swarns foul out. And did we have another foul out? Did Riker? Or no, Riker. I think House might have fouled out. I think that he did. That just occurred. Three for the Scots. Good. What a bucket. Chauncey Whitty for three, and the lead's up to 7 now with under a minute to play as the Magic fully run out for this Eagle squad. Jarrett Mason, crossover, gives back to Gibson. 49 seconds to play, Russ Gibson. Farr comes out to set the screen. Russell step into a three, decides not to take it. Chacon gives it over to Riker Mason. Now Russ Gibson puts it on the deck. Drive, step, float, foul, and we'll get 2 shots. And that's just going to be the 3rd team foul, I believe, on Ben Lomond.
Yeah. Yeah, and so you can't rely on fouls going down the stretch to be able to give you some freebies. You got to work for every single shot, and now that Ben Lomond has picked up their perimeter defense, it's going to have to be on some dribble drive, some penetration, which means Ben Lomond now trying to get a little bit bigger as they bring Coronado into the game again.
Coming up next, we're going to have Morgan taking on, I believe it's Judge Memorial, the 1-5 matchup in the girls' bracket as Gibson hits the first, and it's a 6-point game. Zane Thornton going to check in, replacing Mason Farr. And they're going to get, and Isaac House is not fouled out of the game yet.
It's back in.
I'm trying to see, that's Robertson sitting on the bench, so down in the corner. Another shot coming here. Gibson shoots it at 79%. And now he'll check out. Casperson will check in. 34.8 to go. A 5-point lead for Ben Lomond. And they possess the basketball.
Gibson and Farr are both sitting on the bench. They must both be in some kind of foul trouble to both be out of the game for this defensive possession.
And they call the foul on ALA, and they cannot believe it. They thought they had the steal. So now it'll be free throws for the Scots. Chauncey Whitty will go to the line with 25.8 left.
They made him run around. They were having the refs tick, 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 time off before you get it across the line. But, yeah.
So now shots for Whitty. Mason Farr will sub in after the first free throw.
Get his height out there in case he misses the second.
In and out. My goodness.
Misses the first.
Now, Ben Lomond has only committed 3 fouls. That's the 10th team foul on ALA. As Farr comes back in, replacing Zane Thornton. Still a 5-point game for these final 25.8. Can Whitty push it to 6? Coronado has come on.
Whether it's 5 or 6, or at any point in the game, ALA will be trying to shoot a 3 coming the other way.
And it's good. Ball gets up ahead. Riker Mason lobs to Casperson, and I don't know if that was tipped or not. It goes back to ALA. They say it was not tipped. Zane Thornton will check back in. That might be the nail in the coffin, Cole.
I think so. You could see Mason as soon as it went off his hand. He was given that universal signal for tipped, but
checking in for the Scots will be Trenton Harris.
Yeah, once these 5th, 6th bracket games end in the morning, we get back into the championship rounds. The girls will start us off right after this game concludes.
Williams across the timeline. Kakoa Beard will take it up and lay it in, and that'll do it. Ben Lomond moves on. The story of this ALA team, though, is going to be remembered for a lot of years. Thornton, power dribble, takes it up and is fouled with 3 seconds remaining.
Gives us a chance to talk more about Jarrett Mason.
I don't even know what to say.
Nowhere.
I really don't.
And I want to see Brad's final stat report because I lost track. The first 2 threes that he hit, I was excited and it made sense and oh good, there's 2. I can keep track of that in my head. But then he hit a 3rd and a 4th and I think a 5th, maybe a 6th. This could be a 7th. So we'll see what the final stat sheet tells us.
Free throw from Thornton, good. So 56-49 going to be the final here. And I'm glad the official didn't call that, if I'm just being completely honest with you. They could have called a foul there. Ben Lomond moves on to tomorrow morning afternoon's matchup. They'll take on
Morgan.
Yeah, that'll be a really fun one. 2 teams that are fairly familiar with each other with region play and whatnot. So
Morgan has a large contingent here in Ogden as well.
Yeah.
Their fans have not gone anywhere, even though the game will only be for 5th place in states.
That's right. So let's talk a little bit about ALA here, Cole, as they finish up their season. I'm looking at these. I just pulled up Max Preps, and I'm looking at these shooting numbers now. Jarrett Mason on the season had only played in 9 games, had scored 9 points, taken 3 of 12, made 3 of 12 overall shots from the floor, 3 of 11 from 3. He had only made 3-point field goals through 9 games this season.
And basically only shot them, right? 12 total shots, 11 shots from 3. And today he did, I'm pretty confident he only shot 3s, but he made more than 3, folks.
It was so hard to describe.
More points in a
impressive
single game in the tournament than he had all season long. What a fantastic
What a story.
opportunity. What a fantastic performance. And for it to be an underclassman, right? Like sometimes you see those seniors get these kind of opportunities in their final games. Jarrett Mason will be back next year.
Yeah, man. A lot of these Eagles will be back for them next year. Looking to going down the list, Mason Farr will be back for them. Swarns will be back. Mason and then Gibson. A lot of other seniors, though, that were in the rotation, including Casperson, Webster, Thornton, House, Riker Mason, Robertson, a lot of different guys. So super fascinating to see how this group's going to continue to move forward.
And at the end of the day, it was an 18 seed that was able to make it further than anyone would have expected.
Absolutely. Oh, absolutely.
A nice send-off. But that sets up the 5-6 game for tomorrow. What are your initial thoughts, Morgan versus this Ben Lomond team that just got to win?
I really like it. They're two teams that are pretty familiar with each other. They are in the same region. I want to say that they split in the regular season. Let me just triple-check this here. And no, Ben Lomond won both of those games against Morgan. And the first one was a dandy, 62-61, and then the other was a 57.